says 9 minutes and
You're good.
9 hours and 54 minutes.
Okay, I'd like to call a meeting to the Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9:01. We have approval of the minutes of May 9th and 13th.
Yes, I'm so sorry,
We have to do those
You're gonna
separately.
have to-
I can't vote on them.
yeah, you're gonna have to read them too, I put them both in the packet. I didn't have a chance to email you guys in advance. So
To read
Steve,
them?
well, you can just read them over if you want. So Steve and Rob were both at the May 9th meeting. And then Cindy and Rob were at the 13th meeting.
So I move that both sets of meetings be approved and accepted.
Well, I think we have to do them individually
Well,
because.
that we have one acceptance, another acceptance.
So how about we'll just do the May 9th?
I'll second the May 9th.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Hold on.
Aye.
Okay,
And
the
then June,
minutes of June 13th,
I move that we accept and approve the minutes of June 19th,
13th.
Cindy's still reading.
like you said.
We'll give her a second. So it works out kind of nice. I always take the agendas now, and then I listen to the tape, and anything that's where you guys made motions, and I put that, the motions in there. So do you accept those ones, Cindy?
I haven't read them yet.
Oh, okay. Do you want to wait? We can wait. We can talk.
We can wait to the end
Well,
if you're a speed reader.
I trust you. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good deal. Now, does Jim have anything he wants to cover today, or he just wants to hang out inside with us for the meeting, or what's happening
I
today?
can't think of anything specifically I want to cover. I mean, if there's
Yeah.
any questions, I'm
But
happy to
we
answer
do
them.
have things that are going on, and Jim is in the cemetery, so I figure he could chime in.
Okay,
That
do you
would-
want to take
that
those
would
out
be-
of order, or how would you like to do that?
Jim, are you in a rush to get back outside?
Whatever suits you. Whatever suits you. Whatever
You can
suits
answer with a yes or a no if you like.
We could go right to the photographs real quick, so,
Why don't we do that?
okay,
Okay.
so, so you'll see a little orange bone on one of them. I'll let Jim explain.
Oh, this the picture of the barrel, the traffic blockade barrel. We're in the process of adding a few more spigots to Island Pond Cemetery, and that photo is just indicating where a couple of the DPW guys dug and found the water main that feeds some of the hydrants in there, just so they can tap into it. There's going to be a total of 4 that are added.
Yeah, so this, if you look, this is where the walking trail goes down to the conservation land.
Yep.
And it's on that corner there, so they're pulling one up to this way, and then it's gonna go straight down the street to the end where the Handrens lot is, and where Remoulade's, because they don't have any water at all in that section. And right now, I have to pull like 200-foot hoses just to reach the trees that are there.
It's a fair distance
It's,
to where those trees are.
yeah.
So that'll be
This will
helpful.
be, yeah, and the Handrens will.
Is there water around where this cremation part is too?
Yes, that's
gonna
probably where you've been pulling, right? From the
I pull it
cremation
from,
site.
from the, where we put the granite pillars.
Yes,
for
that's the nearest one.
That's the nearest one to that, which is far.
And is the rest of the cemetery pretty much covered with them?
No,
I think?
there's 2 other spots that we're adding. One is at the top of the hill, right?
One is at the top of the hill. Reference point would be near the flagpole,
Okay.
roughly.
Yeah.
It's probably about 100 feet from the flagpole. There's one that's going to go in there.
And then the other one is at the, we used to have one that's kind of near the sycamore tree, right?
Right. There's one that was very old, and it was old piping, and it was bent. It kept getting hit, so we discontinued it.
We don't
We're
understand
now
why.
replacing it with one lower, just above the cremation pond, where that dirt road is to the receiving tomb. There's one right on the corner that's going to go in there, which didn't have any water anywhere nearby it. So
Yeah. So we had I can't even believe it's on a straightaway, but I can't tell you how many people have hit that one on the straightaway,
It's
which
brutal.
was ridiculous. But that one was removed.
Yeah, I was driving around Mount Pleasant the other day, and just amazed at some people, if they don't drive well anyway,
Right.
how they get around our cemeteries.
Yeah.
It's scary. I've witnessed people knock stones right over,
Yeah, yeah.
and you try and stop them, but you have to be polite. You don't want to be the guy who's like yelling at them, but you want to yell because, you know, it's a major
Yeah,
damage.
it is, yeah.
The next couple are a little overkill.
Okay, so this is one of the lots, and I had another one, but for some reason it didn't print. So obviously they have a balloon, which is not allowed, and then they have all of this.
Oh, you know, when I was walking, I saw that the other day. Would I have been remiss yanking that? And taking it home with me?
So, and I don't know what this is, like a cinder block they tied it with?
It looks like a cobblestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a cobble or a corner marker for a neighboring lot or just something random there.
Yeah,
I know the site you're referring to.
Yeah, yeah. So they're not the only ones, but, and I've spoken to these people before. So I have the address to the person I sold the lot to. So I'm gonna draft a letter that I want for you guys to look at our next meeting, where we highlight the rules and regulations, and then we can put in a package of the rules.
Oh, I think do it faster than that. I think we can just come in and,
Okay.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
that we authorize Robin to construct a polite but to the point letter quoting the rules and regs.
To all
That's an
people who are
initial
infractions.
enforcement action for, I mean, that's too severe a phrase, but in other words, we discover this, Robin is cleared to fire that off.
Okay.
And then follow up, I don't know, what would be an appropriate follow-up, Cindy? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
After we send the letter.
So you give the letter 5 days to get there.
Let's give them a month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
After one.
I would be inclined to send it to all those in over there infraction of.
I agree.
Yeah.
Are the other cemeteries like this too?
There's a couple, not that many.
Island
though.
Pond is the biggest violator.
Yeah.
There are some in others, Mount Pleasant. I mean,
Yeah.
Evergreen,
That's a
yes,
couple.
but that's the lion's share is Island Pond.
Yeah.
That's
And you know something? I think we should undersign it, the three of us.
Yeah.
You can come in and sign it.
Okay.
Yeah, we just stop in and then if for some, when we all read that, if there's something that we don't like, we can
You know what, I can
quickly
send
kibosh this real quick.
I can send you a draft of it, and then you can take a look
Not,
at
and
it.
that's not open meeting issue.
If I send it just to you,
Oh, okay.
no. If I send it to you, and you, and we're all doing it,
Let
then.
him edit it.
Cindy is way more grammatically correct than I am.
Well, Cindy would
and
like
is
me to
much
send it.
nicer on.
All right,
giving
I'll send
time.
it to Cindy. I will send drafts to Cindy.
Give it a try.
Okay, and who is second that we're,
I'll second it.
and Cindy, is this unanimous? That we're sending a letter?
Yeah, I think if it's, our three signatures are on the form,
Yeah,
and then you can sign and date it above us,
yeah.
because you're issuing it.
So we could do one blanket letter that you all sign that I can keep photocopying, and then I can.
Scan that right into your
Yeah,
computer.
and then
you
I
print
could
it out.
just do I was at your site on this day and this day, see the attached letter from the commissioners, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could take a picture and
Yeah, I
put the
mean,
picture in and say, these items are not allowed, you're allowed to do. And then I could actually put in a nice one where people do actually follow the, because there's a lot that's literally right next to this that has edged out exactly 18 inches and has planted flowers, and then they have it mulched in between, you know what I mean? So we do have some that are in compliance that did read the rules and regulations, and their lots look good, and then we have other people that just take advantage, so.
I think if you just put, you don't have to really, I mean, they know what it looks like.
Yeah,
But just the page where it says those particular things not allowed, just highlight.
well, I'm gonna send the whole rules and regulations and then
Okay.
highlight the ones that they are in,
Infraction of.
yeah,
Good.
for each one, because I
So
think
every
if,
time you mail it, it's gotta go in a big envelope.
I can get them in one envelope, believe it or not, because
Okay.
I mail the deeds in those, and it comes with all that stuff, so it can go, and I just bring it over to town hall and they mail it out.
Okay.
Now, if I may, not to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna, do you have any thoughts about when Robin does this and the violation continues? Because I may get asked that question. Oh yeah, what if we don't remove them?
We will. In the
Well, we
letter, we're
do.
gonna say we're removing after 30 days.
Okay.
And last meeting, I can't remember if you were here or what happened after you left. I mean, I said, why are we saving this stuff?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I just want to be able to answer intelligently.
Yeah.
If someone says, well, I'm not
I mean,
taking it, you know, because there are those people that are belligerent, you know, and some are very accommodating, and
No,
some
I can't-
point at their neighbors and say, well, if I have to, what about them? And that,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
It's gonna be a.
Everyone's
blanket
gonna
thing
be
for
getting
everyone.
letters.
Yeah.
And I think we should post that in there. These letters are going out to everyone that's in infractions. Yeah, not, we're not picking on you.
Yeah.
This is a blanket, these are letters going out to everybody.
What did we decide last month about throwing the stuff out?
So normally what we do, Jim, right?
Jim takes a box back to the shed and I just, unless there's something of value that somebody left,
Right,
you know, this was always in grandma's backyard. I mean, I've got
Yeah.
a little phrase thing from my mom, but we didn't put it at her gravesite, you
Yeah.
know. But if there was something that could be a memento, yes, we could take the high road and a little box with the name on the box and go.
It's kind of a
got a
judgment
month.
call, you know what I mean? It's kind
so
of a
I
judgment
know that when
call.
Yarmouth did their big sweep, which backfired on them because they only went to the Board of Selectmen and didn't send anyone any letters.
Oh.
They took everything that was on the graves that were not in compliance and they got clear plastic bags, right? And then they tied it in a knot and left it in front of the stone. And then, but some people only come for Christmas and Easter or whatever they come for, or whatever, or Father's Day or something like that. So I know Yarmouth got in big, you know, newspaper trouble, really.
Well, yeah, I mean-
But they had gone to their Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
they had publicly stated it, they put it in their little paper, but then people were like, well, we didn't see it. But it's not their fault they didn't see it, and they were infractions, so I know that they got pushback, but, we just wanna make sure we're trying to give,
So in the letter, it should say, after a month,
yeah,
this will be removed.
Thank you. Air conditioning is still broken.
okay.
Yeah, and actually disposed of.
Okay,
And then it's our
I think
choice.
that's
If like,
fair.
well, this is this is a value, could have been not an heirloom, but this
Yeah.
meant something to somebody. It's a
Right.
little statue or something. And I mean, maybe if it works, if you guys can. I mean, really, I kind of want to go, no, I'm not interfering with his day-to-day
Yeah.
job
right,
to do the nice thing and save stuff for people that are in violation of the rule. I mean, why burden them? I mean,
right, I agree.
Can we put something in the Chronicle maybe and
We
on
can,
Channel 18?
yeah, we can. So after we draft the letter, I think.
Right.
And you know what wouldn't hurt is if we came on with Dinah, because Dinah does a little segment on,
Oh, yeah.
and we could just say, we just want to inform anyone that's,
It's Dinah.
yeah. Dinah, and she does all of the Channel 18 interviews, and then they air it on the,
Still got nothing.
okay, so then they air it on the YouTube station over and over, so people watch the channel, Harwich channel. She does all different interviews on everything from different festivals that are going on to what's going on in each department, but
She's a good friend. She had it on all the time. It was the background noise in her house. It was on Channel 18. Okay.
But, I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, it's, yeah, we
And
should.
a lot of those people that are the infraction
They-
people watch that.
They do.
And is that one across my parents' place? Is that taking up one lot or 3 lots?
That's taking up 3, more than 1. So that was the other picture, but it didn't print for some reason, I don't know why. So, I am reaching out to him again because first of all, he's in violation of many things. But now he's encroaching on other people's lots that he doesn't even own, so,
Are they open lots or
yeah. He can purchase them if you,
approach him with that? But he
Okay.
still can't put all that crap there.
I know. Okay. All right, so we're done with the rules and regulations. We don't have to go back to that one.
Which one
Let's
is
see
that?
if there's anything else.
Invasive species at Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
Okay.
So Warren has gone out and he has sprayed. Jim came to me yesterday and said that things were dying nicely.
They are, dying nicely, lots of brown.
Well, there's a massive clump on the north edge of Mount Pleasant.
Right. So he killed it all.
Completely burying
And
it.
it's, so once it's all completely dead, and I guess it's really gonna, the top is dead, but it's really gonna soak in, because if he goes to pull it, he's gonna get poison ivy all over him. So he lets it really die. He's then gonna strip the whole thing, blow and seed it. So it's in the process of dying. It doesn't look great right now, but it will look,
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
yeah.
Yeah, very long.
And Island Pond looked nice since you mowed it and things were trimmed.
Yeah, they were a little
Remember that
behind.
first time it was hot and you guys
Yeah.
were just mowing and
Dust.
just get in and out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's looking good.
So he's finishing up with that. Is there anything else you can think of? So Margaret today is hand pulling the poison ivy around the pond because she's not allergic to poison ivy, and her last day is next Thursday. So
Guess what she'll finally catch.
now she's worked on projects this entire year, and then she's been in poison ivy like 30 times, and she's not got poison ivy yet. So there's another girl that also is an AmeriCorps member who's not allergic to poison ivy, and when we were doing all the plantings at the back of the cemetery, we had a whole bunch of poison ivy, and she pulled it all out too. I wish it was me that wasn't allergic to
Yeah, I've
poison
never
ivy.
got poison ivy either, but I'm not pushing my luck.
Don't say things like that. It's like, yeah.
Never have gotten.
All right, anything else, Jim, you can compare?
Is there any of the projects you think that need to be addressed or things that need to be looked at or done or?
should that work order you referred to me earlier
Oh,
be
yeah.
a topic of conversation or
So
no?
this work order to remove the stairs, remember we talked about the,
Yeah.
yeah,
last month.
yeah. So that should be put in, and Rob was concerned that they might be treated with some type of chemical or something.
Yeah.
They probably are, but they're ancient.
Yes, you'll dispose of them correctly.
Yes,
That's what's
but-
his concern.
I think the big question that you
We're
and I
not putting-
discussed, we're not gonna put anything
No.
back, right? We're just gonna fill in where the tiers were and
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it,
So,
Raft like?
yeah.
it's into a hill that's
It's really
noteworthy.
bad.
I don't know why anyone particularly would wanna climb those stairs and not just go 50 feet down and walk a flat in.
Yeah,
Was
But-
that Island Pond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just don't go to the hills.
On
There are
far
mi-
side.
mul-
So the other,
multiple sets of old stairs that were probably put in decades
Railroad
ago.
tie, creosote.
Yeah,
things.
and they've just rotted away over the years, and I've never really seen anyone use them, ever.
Yeah.
They just walk around them, but evidently, some people still do, and they can be hazardous, some of them that are rotted away, so I guess. we're
and there
gonna
is,
remove
I don't know, what it is, it's not, it's a plant that's growing around there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it's called either, but it's.
Yeah, but it's a native, so if
Yeah.
if you don't have to rip it out, don't rip it out,
No,
because
I
it'll
won't.
prevent people from trying to take that
Right,
path, so.
probably holds
Well,
the
if-
bank,
if-
too.
Yeah, if you leave it in there, I think it'll kind of close that section, and I did speak to that lady, as you know, from the last meeting. And if she pulls in where the, area is to go down to the walking trails, her lot is right behind there. So if she pulled in there and pulled her car up, she would only have to walk like 5 steps out of her
Right.
car to her lot, so it would probably be safer, she won't be blocking the whole road off, and it'll be easier for her to navigate, so. Me and Margaret are just gonna trim the shrubs there, probably at the beginning of next week, so that way she can get in there. Just lop off some branches or something.
One other thing that just cropped up while you were speaking, I don't know, I think we've discussed it before, I don't know if there's anything we can do to put this out there a little more vigorously. I've noticed that the burials I've attended, we've talked about this, and even people who are visitors, they tend to park on the grass, off the roadway.
Yeah,
And if you have a burial, I know Robin's very vigorous about this. If you have a burial with 50 cars, you could literally have 30 of them that are trying to get off the roadway and they're parking on graves,
Yeah.
on stones. And you can't run around and scream at all of them at a time of mourning.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that, I don't know how to
So
address it. but-
normally, if I know it's gonna be a big funeral, I get there early and I tell them they cannot pull off the road. So
Should there be a
that's,
sign at the entrance?
It's
Please
kind of
park on
common
all
sense,
roadways?
but I don't know.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't seem to have that.
so they don't even read the no dog
no,
walking.
God, no.
So they don't read any of those signs at the entrance
Yeah.
of the cemetery.
Should
And if
we
they're
let
pulling in
the
for the
other funeral
first
homes know
time,
that?
they just go right in
Just
the file.
have, if you're leading a bunch in, make well known that they just park on the roads.
They do it. People are, if Robin's really good at this, I'm more timid. If people are there for a burial, I view it as a time of grief. I'm not gonna go say, you gotta move your car. I think it makes me the bad guy.
Well, I think if you tell them cars have fallen in and you don't want your car towed out of there.
Unless you would like to join Mr. Jones.
Yeah,
You saw what happened a week ago.
Don't
We were actually organizing a garden tour. Someone comes in right next to Robin, parks perpendicular
I'm
on
like,
the grave.
whoa, no,
On a
no,
grave.
no, no, no.
I don't know where the logic or common sense
know.
is, but,
This is where
They
the
haven't-
water's up on the hill.
right. But I don't know if it's one of those things that will always be a problem. I've talked to the funeral homes and they say, we tell people all the time, they just don't listen or don't care. They'll just park wherever they want. But it's a problem, and one of these days, and BMW is gonna be on a coffin. And I don't know how
So
to
in the
handle it.
older cemeteries, they weren't involved.
What
So-
about portable signs, the kind that you guys put on come out of a wheel rim, painted yellow or something, that when there's an event, the approach is as far back as you think you need to go, based on experience. Here's the entrance, the burial's over here, so people are approaching here, here's a temporary sign, 'cause we don't want them permanently there.
Right.
But it's obvious, please do not park on the grass. Do not, whatever, park on the roadway.
Park on roadways
And,
only.
like a place like Island Pond, you gotta do it from over there, you may need 3 for Island Pond. I don't know.
I just wanted to bring it up. I don't know if there's a cure for it. I don't know.
So would it be something like because we could probably order, the signs that if someone's running for office?
At least this big.
Yeah, so
It's gotta
you know
be
what I'm talking
tall and
about?
obvious.
Yeah.
That you just stick in the ground
Well,
with the
but that's what
little,
I'm saying, if it's portable and,
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
when
look
you
into
guys
that.
are over digging the hole that day, they get dropped off.
okay,
Is that possible? I mean.
yeah.
It can be
But
attempted.
we can
on
put
a
it,
yeah, I
we
mean,
It
can-
can be attempted.
Well,
Put it in
actually,
the
I
night
defer that
before
to you.
almost.
What do you
Marks
think's the
it
best
out.
way to get
Yeah.
there?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Put the signs.
I
on.
honestly don't have an answer. I was just throwing it out there. Maybe you guys would have more creative thoughts, because we can even go, and even if it's not a burial scenario, you go in to cut grass and there are people actively parallel parked on graves. It's not even a funeral going on. They're just hanging out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just are oblivious to the fact that they're parked on a flat stone, or, and I don't know how to I speak to people as I come across it, say, hey, can you get your car back on the road?
I go right.
Add that to the, to this, on Channel 18 and
Yeah.
the, other thing.
I mean, we could,
Other than putting a fence down every roadway
Yeah,
is.
I understand this. I'm at a loss with that.
And then it makes it even more of a pain in the neck to go mow.
Okay.
I'm at a loss with the dogs too. I mean, there's signs in every cemetery, and the
Yeah, we
dog
should put
officer
that on.
patrols, and they
Yeah.
don't care.
When we go on
Reminder.
Channel 18.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all temporary because once the Channel 18 thing comes down, then we'll just drift right back and it'll be a repeating
It's
problem.
called the Harwich Channel now, right? I think it's called the Harwich Channel because Channel 18 was taken.
Well, anyway, I like the idea of event days. We have
Yeah.
noticeable approach signs that say, please park on the road only, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Park on pavement.
And not,
And
grass.
those little
Not little-
snow markers that you just put out, just stick some along the lines just to keep people off.
yeah.
All right. I think that's it, right?
I can't think of anything else, really.
I'd like to mention too, while you're still here, Jen, gave Robin the devil for it last time, but please don't take off the old flags. If people complain
I
about,
don't think Jim takes
Old
off
flags.
flags, do you?
Yeah, I'm involved with the flag.
You
Yeah.
take them off? You
Are we
take-
talking about the flagpoles?
No,
no,
the
the flags.
the service
veterans
Oh,
flags.
this-
flags.
yes, we get spoken to by,
Okay, but I mean, I'm just saying, it's just impossible.
Understood.
With some of them to
Understood.
find them again. So if they're off, it's
Leave
so
the
easy to
stick.
miss them. And then we drive through every
Right.
time after, we're like looking for, see what
Oh,
we
I
missed.
understand.
Checking out each other's, if we miss anything, so please don't take them off.
Yeah,
If
John.
somebody does complain about them on a certain lot, by all means, take them off that lot, but please leave them in if you can.
yeah, we'll leave just the
Oh, leave the
staff.
stick even.
Leave the stick. A lot of them, we come in after wind and the flag is over
Oh,
here
I
and there's
know,
just a
I
stick
know.
remaining,
Yeah,
and so.
and they do go
yeah.
everywhere. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No, that's an interesting subject, which I think of other cemeteries like the Bourne National.
Right.
It's only up for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
And
there
the
a-
other towns too, so.
why? I'm just
Gianna
asking.
only
Why
leaves
do
them
we
up.
do what we do? Why do we leave them up year round and perpetually chase these flags? And no disrespect at all. I'm just. It seems like it gets to the point, like you brought up, where it's not so respectful anymore. If you're missing a flag, just have a stick, or you have a half tattered flag. You're, a service
Some
person.
of the markers,
So-
flag markers that you put flags in.
The flag,
Military.
military
Military
flag. But then there's
medallions.
the stake that goes in with the medallion thing on it, and then the flag. But when they're all gone, it's like some of them are underneath the bushes and
Yeah.
stuff.
I just didn't know if
But
there
it's
was
just-
a reason we've always done it that way, leave them up
Yeah.
all the time.
I
I
just think
have
it's
to tell you,
respectful.
Jim, when we took them, when we take them off in May,
Mhm.
and at the beginning of May, before she put up the new ones, I had like probably 15 phone calls from people saying, somebody stole my flag. I was like, no, the flags were tattered. We had to remove them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New flags are coming in. Oh, my husband, I like his flag up there. So I think because we've all pretty
People are
much,
resistant to change.
they
but-
are.
Right, and I just think it's respectful. Myself.
Is there a more durable type of little flag?
No, we get those from the military. We don't even pay for them. I mean, it would be astronomically expensive
Yeah.
for us to
I
order
thought you
them.
said we did pay.
We do not pay for them.
Because I thought somebody had said we'll used to get money from different places to pay for them.
The Veterans Department pays for our flags.
Good to know.
Yeah, they pay for all of the flags for the whole Cape.
Yeah, because we put out over 1,000 flags.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
we have a lot of veterans.
Yeah.
I think other towns probably have a lot of veterans, but if we didn't do the Civil War and Revolutionary War and, all the other veterans things, we wouldn't know that these guys were veterans. I found 3 new veterans last week. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think every time I do a lot layout, I always pull their lineage and I do all their stuff to make sure I have the right date of birth, right date of death. And every time you do that, if they were in World War I or World War II, their service record comes up. I bring it over to Shawnee. Shawnee then checks it to tell me because you can get drafted, but you don't go into service. So I want to confirm that they're actual veterans before we put a flag on there. And she vets them out and tells me whether they were or they weren't.
Yeah.
So we then add that to our database every time. So every year, Cindy and John get more and more veterans from us that they have to add to their.
We should know where they all are after 30-odd years. But
It's quite a job you guys do. I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover and a lot of distance and a lot of flags.
Yeah.
I just want to bring that up because it's very touchy, you know what I mean? You want to be respectful of people who serve the country, absolutely. But then you have the flags that snap in half, and you have the ones that are hanging on by one staple that may be repairable, may not be. And where do you draw the line? You know, it's difficult.
All right, well, we can get all of this other stuff out. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Doing a good
My
job.
pleasure.
All
My
right.
pleasure. Thank you.
It looks good over
And I'll
there.
see you tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you.
Try and stay cool.
Thanks.
Try.
I'll try to get over there tomorrow morning too. I wake up at the crack of
Yeah,
dawn.
I'm up at 5, so for me, he was like, can you meet early? I go, I'm in at 7:30. He goes, that's perfect.
Okay, now we got an email from Megan Eldridge on the procurement process.
Yeah, so this is, they updated the procurement process. I am actually going out to do procurement this week for the, South Howard, well, actually next week, I won't have time tomorrow. For the South Harwich, gravestone conservation. 2 more stones fell down, which is great that we had a little buffer in there. So I'll go and update the map, make sure I have updated photographs, and for them to, get some price quotes on that, and we'll get started on that as soon as possible. Kind of great. So in the packet, I put in the 3 open articles that we have. One is the tree article, one is the War Memorial Project, which we're almost done with. And then the South Harwich gravestone project. And there's just a lot of stuff that goes with that.
I don't see it in the packet, but I saw it on the, there it is. Just getting new contacts. So we still got quite a bit of money for trees, huh?
I think we still have some money left. I did spend some since she printed that. We did the native species garden with AmeriCorps.
Looks nice back there.
And have you seen how expanded it is? It looks fantastic in the way back.
I was gonna ask about the trees in Island Pond with the orange flags.
Those are trees that are coming down. So they either have, there's a lot of them have beetles in them.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I lost 5 because of that.
Yeah. So we have that's a total different, that's our tree removal people. So they're going to be going in, I think, next week to get a lot of those trees out. And then I would probably like to plant some new trees
Yeah.
in their place. So,
Shade trees there.
yeah, shade ones.
That's
And
what
I have to
caught my
tell you, that old lot that where the lady with the walking up there. So I'm watering the pear tree that's up there. Since I've been watering the pear tree, it must be soaking into the ground because now I have 3 little oak trees that have sprouted up that are like this tall already from the oak trees that came down. One's oak, one's maple. So hopefully I'll just keep, so now I water them when I water that tree. So hopefully, I like it when we get free trees. So
Yeah, it works.
Mother Nature recycling.
Mother Nature's.
Can I just ask, why are you watering them and not Miracle?
She is, but
Okay.
they were out at strandings all last week.
Oh,
So they had
sure.
3 strandings 3 days in a row. So she didn't come in last week.
I
She
get
was
it.
physically, they were out all night one night. So
Yeah.
she called in sick. So she has been watering, but when she's not watering, I can't let them die. So
Right, no, I agree with that, certainly. Thank you.
So I don't want them to die.
I assumed they were just working with you.
And I came in early. I've been coming in early so I can water them before work,
Yeah.
really. So
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh,
I
you-
mean, and nobody gets overtime for this.
God, no, I know you don't. That's why I'm like, why are you taking your time?
And it's too hot to water in the middle of the day, so you really want to do it.
It's wrong,
Yeah.
huh?
You just got to bring bug spray. It's brutal.
And
so that-
Michael from AmeriCorps.
Yeah, so this is just the end of the year information about AmeriCorps. And she's graduating on Thursday, the 25th at Cape Cod Community College. You guys are invited to go to that if you'd like to attend. They just talk about all the different projects and do slideshows and everything that goes on with that. I actually cannot go on Thursday and Friday of that week. I am on vacation those 2 days. So the girl that's from the conservation department is going to go and attend. I mean, we share Margaret, so she'll be attending.
When do we get her replacement?
September. So we just don't have anyone for August. So it's a long month in August without no watering. So I do have a couple of my garden club members who help out, and people who are near lots help out. There's a guy that is kind of near Will Revlott's lot that does a couple of those ones around there, and he does them on the weekends too. So we have different people in different sections that kind of help out, but it's a lot of watering. Okay.
Okay, then we have Carter Peck, Davy Tree Service. I don't see that.
Okay, so Carter Peck did come, I didn't put it in there, right? So he came and did a tour of a second tour, and he brought one of the guys that's a tree specialist, and they looked at some of our aging trees, and they are going to write up a proposal for us. From that proposal, they give us whatever it is. I'm either going to write a grant or I'm going to do a CPC article on how to maintain the trees that are the older, mature trees in the cemetery. So I just wanted to put it on there so you guys knew that they came and walked around. They did go back to the American beech that had been the only one that lived through the tornado is on Cranberry Circle in the back in the corner. But 3 trees had fallen on it, on one side of it. So me and Margaret cut. First, Amy helped us with the chainsaw to cut some of it off, and then me and Margaret trimmed it with loppers. They came back to clean up our mess. So he goes, "We're just gonna do this because you have to cut it at a certain angle on this just so that it rebounds." And he recommended that we have the tree guy come in and take out a couple more trees around it so they don't fall on it. So he says, if this is the only mature one that you have, and it's probably 100 feet tall, we don't want to lose it. He said we probably should get rid of, there's a couple leaning trees that are near there, and he recommends that we have the tree, which that guy's under contract anyways, remove those, because if we have a big storm and it hits it again, we wouldn't want to lose it. So I'll have him go down and take a look at the tree guy when he comes in.
And Ed Brown website.
Ed Brown emails me a lot. He does a lot of work for Find a Grave, and he's always looking at finding locations on graves, specific ones that he wants to take images and upload information to Find a Grave for. So he is on our site a lot, going through, because he goes to Island Ponds where you can put in the name and it'll tell him where it is, and he'll just go there if he doesn't need to contact me. He's actually a great resource. But he was going through the links that are on our new web page, because the new web page is up, and they're all broken. Well, they go to a different location. So I had reached out to Sarah, who did the links, and told her they were incorrect, and she's gonna try to fix them for us.
And don't we have access to the new
We do,
administrative access to this?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want to do it, you want to do it?
You know, I think in a future meeting,
Yeah.
we need to maybe big screen the website
Yeah.
and everybody input.
Okay. I gotta put
And
that on.
along these lines, when I was over in Mount Pleasant,
Yeah.
with information you have, how come we can't search a person?
What do you mean?
Well, I know at Island Pond we can, because we have the video
Right. Yeah.
and the live, whatever you call it, the
Yeah.
aerial view. But at Mount Pleasant, I was looking for somebody and going, I thought we had a way to do that.
Well, I do. I have an access database.
Okay, so why is that not public?
I don't know that it can go on that site, but I can ask Sarah. If not, what I could do
Well, even
is
just
I could,
export it as
I can do
as
that.
an Excel file
So,
that we don't need private stuff on there. We need
yeah,
Name and location.
location, name, and maybe 2 dates.
okay.
I mean,
I
and
could
this may be a project, but
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do that name, location, date of birth, date of death,
yeah, I mean, just to confirm, I
and
mean,
death.
it's amazing how
Okay.
many thankful Bierces there are in the world,
Yeah.
or were in the world.
I'll do them for each of them, each one that
Well, and
I
I
have.
think that should just,
Yeah.
I mean, even if it just opens,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be Excel. I mean, you load it as a PDF, but it has to be searchable, so you don't have to sit there and read.
Scroll through.
Well, if you just do it alphabetically,
Yeah, well, that would be.
by last name.
That would be, if you're looking for somebody, you'd probably come at it alphabetically.
Right.
Last
So
name,
I can
first
do,
name.
I'll do full name, I'll do last, I usually have last, first name,
Middle if it's
maiden name,
available.
and
Yeah.
last name, that's what I usually do.
Yeah, well, and
I don't have everyone's
Well-
maiden name, but if they don't,
this has priority.
Yeah, that's,
We gotta get this done.
yeah.
But if this is something that's literally just
Copy and
download, publish, and
Yeah,
get it uploaded, whatever the correct format, and maybe Caleb can
right.
translate for
And I
us
do
say,
get a, one of the senior work-off people, I can have them go through and add more, because I don't have everybody in there yet. So that I could make them a little spreadsheet, they could just open up the folders, type in first name, last names, and,
You know, and actually, wouldn't this piggyback on last meeting where we talked about having your database updated with how to contact somebody? Or was that 2 meetings ago? Remember we
Yeah.
were talking about the letter and how to send a letter out?
yeah.
You don't know, I mean, the last person you had a point of contact with was an executor, maybe.
Yeah,
Or the
but
family that
most
doesn't
of
care
these,
that grandma's
most of
there.
the abusers on these lots though, they're newer lots.
They're new,
Yeah,
right, but,
they're not, nobody's doing this to a 150-year-old lot.
well, but what if something like,
But we could put
last
that
year we had
in,
the damaged stone.
right,
I mean, they reached out to us, but what if? I'm trying to think of brainstorm a scenario here. Grandpa hits the accelerator button, not the brake pedal,
right.
and his caddy bowls over 2 old places, you know,
Right.
I mean, yes,
So we could put it in there, just because it's in there doesn't mean that's what you're gonna publish.
no, but that's for
Right,
you.
yeah.
The right-hand side of the spreadsheet's for you, the left hand is for public dissemination.
I mean, I used to teach access, so I could make them a little
Oh.
access.
There you go.
I could make
I knew
them,
that.
Ah.
She did all this with my wife.
so I can make them a little, like input screen where they would just put in, it'd have all the fields.
Yeah.
And then they just would hit the next button when they do the next,
For your assistance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that would populate the spreadsheet that then we could print out whatever you want, and then you get to choose what you want to show.
Well, yeah, I just think it's time.
Yeah, okay,
You know, we've got the
all right,
computer
work-
power now to be able to find anybody that's buried here.
I'll work on it.
Then Marcia Daly from the Eastham Historical Society.
Yeah, so as you know, I've been reaching out to all of the historical societies about our Revolutionary War project to make sure that we are not duplicating veterans. So she has reached back out to me and she gave me some resources, and I've spoken to her since then. But this is just a way for us to track that we are not missing anybody. So I reached out to Dennis, I've reached out to Eastham, I've reached out to Yarmouth. And all of them have been very cooperative, and they're very excited about my books. They're like, I just want to, can I borrow the books?
At some point, you're gonna have to pull the trigger
Yeah, I
and
know.
say, okay, we're building the stone,
Yeah.
we're cutting the stone now.
Well, that's why we gotta
And-
publish it.
And it's like ancestry. I mean,
Yeah.
suddenly you find this relative. It's like, where'd this person come from? But it opens up a whole new branch on your tree.
Right.
And it's like, oh,
So
this is great.
yeah, I did talk to the monument company as well. They're gonna go alphabetically, but they recommend that you leave a little bit of space at the bottom of each column in case you have to add somebody at a later date.
Oh,
So if
That
it's,
makes sense.
so that,
it's like 2 rows for.
yeah, and I did get a contact from an Eldridge with an I to make sure,
Could be relatives. They still have their money.
to make sure that their veteran was spelled with an Eldridge with an I and not an Eldridge with an E. So I was like, okay,
It's important to get it.
I know. So, I mean, that's
Oh, it's crazy.
that's
I
a
mean,
lot. That's a lot of the stuff. Believe it or not.
Then we got
right.
Wesley Marsh,
Okay, so we did get
Water
the
Department.
yeah, we did get the end of the year water bills. They always come after the end of the year because they go right up to the deadline. So those were added in yesterday. I put them all in. They had sent an original one, and then they updated them, and then the totals were less than the original ones.
Well, it looked like there was only like 1,022 is the difference.
Yeah. So we'll go through them.
Okay.
All right. So then I gave you these budgets, but then I stapled in the back here, didn't I?
Yep, revolving account, I got that.
Is that cemetery revolving?
So who's Megan Green?
Megan Green is, she is,
The water department person?
no, Megan Green is the girl who does all the accounting over at town hall. She's our contact, yeah. So, all right, do you want to just run through this real quick, or do you want to do, because I didn't put anything on the Veterans Memorial Circle. Do you want to do that first?
Why don't we just get this,
Okay.
the number crunching
Okay.
done?
All right, so this is the cemetery budget. We are actually over this year on our cemetery budget. I thought we were gonna be under, but we are over. I did talk to Megan, and what they'll do is, because I didn't calculate in, I didn't do any of my mileage till the very end of the year. So I had February, March, April, May, June. If you switch to the last page, this one,
Upside down.
you can take the clip off that side if you want. The clip will
Yeah,
come
no.
off. So this one, the negative is actually a negative this time.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah. So she says that they can take that out of our perpetual care account. They'll just transfer it. I could have just had her do it like that, but I want them to know that this is the actual amount of money it costs per year for us. So that next year when we go for our budget, they increase it by that much. Because every year we keep shifting and paying stuff out of perpetual care rather than the regular budget. So they don't really get what the true
Cost of the whole thing.
costs are. And so for the last couple of years, we've kept taking it out of perpetual care. But this year I was like, leave it in there and we'll do a line transfer after.
Are these appropriate uses of perpetual care?
Yeah. So some of the, you can, and he went, one of the meetings that we had, I said, well, last year I was over on my mileage, and he goes, well, not perpetual care, cemetery revolving, so. So he said, you can take money out of there for that, so. I just said, for a cleaner system for us, we need to know what the actuals are every year. So go moving forward for budgets, that way we can put in the right totals for each thing. Okay, so then the next one is your cemetery revolving account. So the cemetery revolving account, as you guys all know, we went right up to the limit for the end of the year, which we have a $100,000 budget each year. We spent $99,723.06. Most of that was for the Veterans Memorial granite and stuff like that.
So we're under 277?
Yeah.
Can I send you your party weekend?
You want to say 6
Barbecue
months?
at your place?
So I am looking for, I don't have the stapled one. I think I might have given mine
Are you
to
looking for
Jim
this?
by accident.
This one?
No, the one that I did with the totals, this one. You guys all
Oh,
have this?
Yeah, it's in the back.
Yeah, I don't.
It's after Rockland Trust.
It is?
Yeah, on mine, in my package.
I don't have one in my package. All right, so I'm just gonna borrow yours for a
Yeah,
second.
because I don't have one there.
So if you flip to the last page, this is the important stuff, which I added the little titles for. I didn't move the stuff though. So if you flip to almost the last page.
Okay.
So we took in revenue, we took in $51,165 in lot sales last year. $8,600 in monument markouts. In administration fees. $3,600 in markouts for a total income of $63,365, which is higher than our normal. We normally take in about $50,000 each year, but we were at 63. Our balance at the end of the year was $44,492.44, and that will be the amount of money that will be moving forward into the account starting July 1st. So this
Which
is
one is it? 44,492?
492.44. Since then, I sold all of these lots, so it's more like $50,000. in the cemetery revolving account, for the beginning of the year.
Now on the markouts, that gets paid through the monument place,
Yeah, so that every time somebody, gets a,
headstone,
yeah,
that it just falls through his paperwork to you?
yeah, they have to, put in a fee for us. Tommy then sends me the information, I go out with the lot information to mark out where the monument's going in, so they put it in the correct spot. So that was the
I was
end
just
of,
curious, they never got a bill for that stuff.
what?
Because they never got a bill for that kind of stuff.
He probably included it in your fees, all right? So
Okay.
we're in pretty good shape in the cemetery revolving account,
And the year started July 1st?
July 1st, yeah. So in the next month, I'll give you the updated totals of, I didn't have time to do year to date right now. There's just too much other stuff
Do we
to.
have any other business?
No, we still have, we have to go back a little here.
We haven't done that.
Where?
Well, we gotta finish this part, and then we gotta go back to these two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the business from the first section.
Oh, okay.
So the correspondence is done.
Yes.
Yes. But
So-
do you wanna go over the Rockland Trust while we're on finance, or you wanna come back to that?
Back to the new accountant. How,
Okay.
how is the hunt for perpetual care deposits coming?
I did touch base with her about that. She is trying to close out the end of last year, which people had to put in all their bills this week. And they know that we are on it, that we want the money.
Well, I
Moved.
don't want it to disappear and,
Right.
oh, well, we never got to it. And
Yeah.
Okay,
So they know when the last time they deposited in there,
Mhm.
so they know that we have funds in there.
okay.
Maybe we should put it on the agenda for next month to follow up on that.
Okay? Yeah, transfer. Okay. I'll send her an email right when I leave, so that way she has plenty of time to get to it. All right, do you want to go over the trust account or no? I brought the trust book now that we have a whole book now.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we put everything in by month.
I mean, I could take that maybe today and I'll stick it in a spreadsheet
Okay,
on that one that we built.
all
You
right.
love spreadsheets.
I do.
He does.
I am an INFJ and I just like having things,
So I haven't.
even though my desk looks like this table.
So this is the February one. It hasn't been 3-hole punched and put in here, so you.
Okay.
Okay,
But we
and
got
then-
every month there?
I got every month. This was up through May, and this is June.
Okay. So
So-
really, I mean, this is nice.
Yeah.
July is going to be better because the market's at an all-time high.
Okay.
But we're not really in growth stocks, although now we are because GE split.
I'm gonna
So
just.
I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with GE. And,
I'll put that in there. So that's June in.
I just hire somebody to do this.
well, we are hired to the tune of $100 and some odd a month. We've hired somebody to do this. 133.64. I do it for free. But anyway, the only number that we really care about is, like we talked about last meeting, is the income portfolio, which is page 9 of 14, and we're just keeping an eye on at the bottom of the page where it says 22,109. That's basically Robin's emergency fund.
Yeah.
Everything else is stock market dependent. It could be up, it could be down. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's just like my
What is that,
retirement. I
bottom
don't
of
care. I just care about, oh, look, another dividend. That's our mantra here. Oh, look, another dividend. Robin can spend someday.
There you go.
Hopefully.
Now we get the Veteran Memorial Hardscape and benches.
So I'm meeting with the guy tomorrow. I also spoke to Tom about the benches. There are 3 people that are buying benches that we know of, and there's 3 people that are open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a list, and I could do that next month, I want to reach out to a couple of the people Shawnee gave me to reach out to that were interested in also purchasing to see
So
if,
which commands are missing, which branches?
I think it's the Coast Guard
It's Space Force, I know.
Space Force.
Because they're so new.
and,
The Coast Guard, really?
I think it's the Coast Guard and the Army,
What is the cost of a bench?
$5,000.
Well,
So the
I-
Air Force was, the Schiavis have, the Marines, Stephen Exaros is getting.
Really? That's nice.
And the Navy, I can't remember who's getting that, but somebody is. So the other three, I'll look at back in my notes.
Well, I would
I know you had,
send a letter to
I am,
Chatham Coast Guard.
I am.
Their
You-
commandant or whatever.
yeah, because
and-
they might do it as a group. And there is that place that's in Hyannis that is like the VFW up there, whatever. They might want to purchase one of them as well, because they have a lot of funds.
I would maybe, first I would then write Space Force,
Okay.
because they're brand spanking new, and see if they would be, thank them for their participation and the dedication. And we're having trouble, because your branch is so new, we're having trouble finding a donor for whatever we're calling these benches.
Okay.
And perhaps,
You have a fund.
do you have a contact? Could you spread the word that we're looking,
All right.
and then save the VFW for
Clean up.
whoever we get for the cleanup.
Okay. All right. All right. Perfect. And it's the same thing for the Walk of Remembrance. The same guys meeting me for both.
Okay, and that's 7:30.
7:30. Yeah. And then the signs. The slate is in. Tom's just made the, I don't know, they're stencils. I don't know what they are. He was laying them out the other day when I was there. So those 3 signs should be in soon, which would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Then we got a new Eagle Scout project.
Yes, so Tyler is looking to do an Eagle Scout project. He turns 18 on October 30th, so it has to be before October 30th. And I told him we were doing the Walk of Remembrance, and this could save us money, he wanted to know if possibly we could have Paul Sweetser mark it out, if he could edge out the entire walkway with his scouts. Like they would remove all the grass where the walkway's gonna go.
Really?
It would be kind of like prepping it. I don't know what you think about that.
Has he done that type of work?
So they would be, they're supervised by, there's a whole group, just like when they did the fence. The fathers that come are all like,
Right,
How wide
but
is
I'm
the
wondering if,
bucket on a bobcat?
what?
How wide is the bucket on a
I-
About
bobcat?
5 feet. But you can get a dingo that's about 2/3 of this table. It's a little stand-up track machine.
And isn't that
I mean,
just
I
the way
don't know if it's even, if it's something even, but we gotta come up with a project for him. So, he'd like to work on something at the Veterans Circle. Doesn't have to, but, I mean, you guys can think about it and get back to me.
Well, I'm thinking of being sat over there thinking about the entrance to the walkway.
Yeah,
I mean, things that pop in my, he wanted a stone with it says the start of Harwich.
Founding of the town.
We can't do that.
no,
I think we wouldn't hurt to have a flagpole that's got the state flag, and we have a flag.
yeah,
Well, we have a symbol. Harwich does.
Yeah.
It's just nobody has a flag for it.
yeah,
But it could be a flag. And that could be the entrance, even though it's really got nothing to do with the Walk of Remembrance.
right.
But since this is also sort of a historical timeline walkway,
Is there any landscaping we could do around like the entrance?
Well-
so
or-
that leads to a split rail fence
And some
that
plantings.
directs to the entrance. I don't know if we even need that because it's right there,
Yeah.
but if you're at the circle, are you gonna see the walkway?
Well, I think so, but I think entrance just a small planting, low fence or something that slopes down on each side, or maybe
I
you can
like
come up
that.
with something to
Yeah.
go in front so the people driving up they don't drive through the whole flag setup. But that'd be a stone brick wall or something like that. And what about the gazebo? You could do just
Decorate the gazebo.
with some plantings around the
Landscaping.
outside.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I think
didn't we?
that would be a much better project than having that poor
Okay,
kid dig a trench that's
okay,
200 feet long.
well, he
200
wouldn't,
feet.
they don't do it by themselves, they bring
Well,
like
I
30
understand
kids.
But he's in charge.
Yeah. So landscaping around,
So landscaping around the gazebo and
Possible
or,
entrance to the walk. Remember, it's on either side, nothing major there,
Yeah.
some low color things with a fence and the ends slope off.
yeah, the kind, where do we just put those? You know, the picket,
Yeah.
not picket, the split rail that is
Yeah, just
half
drops
post,
down.
full post.
Yeah.
Just
I like that.
funnel humans that
Or,
direction.
yeah, or you go big this way towards the walkway, say.
Yeah, but you usually go
Yeah, right, you're right.
because otherwise it look funny.
Yeah.
Being a landscaper, that would drive me
well,
nuts.
I'll reach out to him and see what he thinks.
Yeah, I like
Because I
it.
mean, I like his ambition about digging up the whole walk, but a guy could come in with a little tractor and do that.
Especially if
in
it's
a
the
few
width
hours.
of the Bobcat blade, it's
Because the
just let
Bobcats,
them
Or-
follow the
so I'm-
Bobcats is probably about this
I'm
wide.
gonna see if Paul can go
And
out
that's
there
budget
and,
4 or 5 feet.
put it on the ground. And then we should see if we can talk to the DPW, see if it's something they could have somebody do. I just
Well,
kinda,
we'll know more after the meeting with
Okay.
how
right.
much it's gonna cost. Or is it gonna be 4 feet wide, 3 feet wide? Or
I
like the
think it has- I
sidewalks
think it
out
has-
here that are,
I think it has to be 4 feet wide.
Yeah, I would think 4 feet. Anyways, you walk 2 by 2 down it. Otherwise, it's just awkward walking.
Yeah.
what is that, a rule? There's these sidewalks that here
Yeah,
on
but-
Oak Street are not.
Yeah, but if we had someone in a
That's
wheelchair, if we had someone in a wheelchair, we would want
I'm
it.
all for it,
Yeah.
I laugh at the sidewalk.
I
I go
know.
to Dennis and you can drive a semi on them, and
Yeah.
out here, 2 people have to get on the grass to pass each other.
Well, those have been there for like 1,000 years. They're
Yeah.
probably this wide underneath all
Oh,
the
no,
grass.
that's
grown
that's
over.
the extension from this building to Pine Oaks too.
Really.
It was just kind of funny. Low budget that year.
So are you gonna be at the cemetery tomorrow at 7:30?
Maybe.
You answered so quickly.
He sleeps in.
No, I don't
Oh.
sleep in, but all these cardiac pills I'm on, I don't do anything early anymore.
Okay.
It's just,
I wake up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the
I
Well,
morning.
forgot,
I
I
do
did
that
have, I did
anyway,
have
but
one
yeah.
bill, maybe after we leave here, you guys can sign it. I only have one.
Okay.
It's just the annual, fee for the, software. That's it.
Can we do other old business?
Nope.
Not
No.
yet. Other old business. I know you have some because you brought it up.
I do.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I would like to know, originally, when we ordered the signs for the cemeteries, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Did we get enough information from them that they needed to be maintained every year?
I tried to look for that and I did email, Dawn to ask her what kind of wax and all that stuff that we needed, to maintain the signs. But I cannot find anything that says that, but,
Can you ask her
okay.
for a copy of it? Because
Well, we don't have anything in writing from her to us.
Well, can we
Well, I
have her
think we
send
should
us
have.
over something on maintenance procedures for
That's what I
signs?
That's like
requested.
Cindy's heading towards warranty clause.
But I'm saying, did they say when we
Yeah,
spent all this
I see
money
that going there now.
that it's gonna cost you X amount of bucks every year if you need to have us do this? Were we even warned that that could happen to them? I mean, I went by one the other day and I'm like, oh God, there's another one.
Yeah.
And ask her if we had anything given to us that said we're gonna have to maintain these places.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I think the brackets that were on there should have been replaced for zip. But
Well, she doesn't do the brackets.
I know, it's someone else. Well, whoever did them, I think should have replaced them.
I know, but he's out of business and has left the
Right.
state, so I mean, there's not we can do about that.
It's
So,
like
you
I
know,
just saw some product where the guy's guaranteeing it for 104 years. It's like dying.
yeah.
Like you're gonna be in business 100
Nobody's
years.
gonna be in business,
Yeah.
nothing
Nice
fails.
try, dude.
Okay.
That-
So I
that-
did,
that's
I
a
actually
really good
did
point.
send her, an email again this morning, asking her about what type of wax and what is the procedure
Right.
and
The
all of that.
frequency of cleaning and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that kind of
I
stuff.
really think we should have gotten all that along with the purchase and been warned about it.
So, one of the other things is I really need to order, some Civil War. Somebody stole one of the Civil War flag holders off of a grave. A lady asked me for one. I finally found one for her. It was up until 2 days ago. And then somebody took her flag and the flag holder. So she was kind of upset because it's her grandfather or whatever it is. But she says, "Did you remove it?" And I said, "No, I did not." But we have so many of them that we're going to have to put up anyways. I should probably get a rough count. I think if I get 50 of them, even though we have like 100 and we have over 200 Civil War guys. But some of them have just veteran. They don't have a Civil
generic
War. Yeah,
veteran.
yeah.
Just, and I know we're running along here, but you know, over in Chatham, they have police and fire.
We do too.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
We do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
If you go in Mount
I can
Pleasant,
show
there's
you
a whole
where I
bunch of
look.
them.
No, I
Yeah,
just-
yeah. The whole bunch of them have that police and fire. Yeah.
We usually do those too, unless someone has said, I'm from Chatham and I do these every year, so please don't do them. Because, I don't know if he's able to anymore, but we do them and just tell him, geez, if we already did, I'm sorry, but we're respectful too.
Yeah. So we want to, I just want to check how many I need. So we do need some World War II. We're out of World War IIs. And I don't think John has any left. World War II.
I forget, didn't he just ask you to order?
He asked me to order
One and
a couple things, yeah. So I should touch bases with him and with Pete, because Pete made a list as well of ones that need to be replaced. But I think I should make an order to get some more flag holders. Okay.
And then the other thing I would bring up is to put on next month's meeting is, are we gonna do something with the children's grave area
Yeah.
to
So I did put.
make that a mark out so you can find it easy and just make it look better?
Yeah, so we have planted, we have 3 white lilacs now there, and 2 little shrubs that we planted, but it needs a tree. It needs to get some shade. It's like all the trees that were on that whole strip there got totally wiped out. I think if we could put in something that could that would eventually grow and be a nice shade tree, it would help it. But it's all sand right now. I mean, we'd probably have
Maybe
to.
we can discuss this next meeting, what we could do over there, maybe bring in some loam
Okay.
and just make it, the whole area look better.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe a road trip.
Okay.
You like those, that's on the list here, we can schedule that too.
You have time today? It's a little
Depends
hot.
on the eye doctor.
It's a little hot out there. Rob, you already signed all the deeds?
Yep, and we gotta sign deeds and bills.
So we
It makes it
have
look like I'm busy when I'm getting it.
cremation lot in Island Pond. We have 2 grave spaces in Island Pond. We have a lot in Evergreen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 grave spaces were sold in Evergreen. Evergreen has been very busy.
Are there spots available out near Link,
Like,
Thatcher? Gravesite up in that area?
are
I had a
there?
friend ask me about that the other day.
Not really. What is he looking for?
Him and his
Cremation or full body burials?
wife. I don't know. That, I'll just have him call you.
Yeah.
It's Tom and Carol T. there. Because I told him that there's a list, there's a line where my Campbells were.
Yeah.
There's a row back there, and I
Yeah.
think there was some back in there too, right?
Yeah, there are some in there.
Okay. Well, that's what I told him. This is, you're gonna have to go.
And we just planted a whole bunch of new shrubs there and some Rosa rugosas for the hill there.
That spreads everywhere.
But listen, it has like a 20-foot drop off behind there, and I just wanted people to stay away, and the roaster
That'll
is
do it.
pricky, so I didn't want them going on it.
How come some paper clips are on the side and some on the top?
I did.
No consistency.
So sorry.
Just curious, that's all. Just curious.
Depends on what day I did them. I'm verifying all you people now, so you don't have to come back. So, nobody wants to go for a visit today?
No, thanks.
We're skipping because
So
it's
a little
90.
warm. We can try to do that next week.
Be warmer than 45, cooler than 75.
I'll go, unless it's too hot.
It is pretty hot.
Why don't we try to figure
I will
something for the
dress for the
next
cold
meeting, which we
now.
gotta figure out too.
Yeah.
Oh, Cindy and I were joking about that this morning. She said, are you gonna try and get to the eye doctor? I said, yeah, it depends if we have to go to a cemetery, but it's hot, so Cindy's not gonna wanna go. And if it's too cold, she's not gonna wanna go, even though she has a vacation up in New Hampshire in a trailer, where it's like,
Cold all the
Pole.
time.
Isn't it?
We just had a little chuckle over that, that's all.
Can you get that bill you wanna sign?
It's in my office.
So we gotta follow you to the office.
Yeah. Unless
Next
we're-
meeting,
Next meeting is when?
the 1st is a Thursday, the 8th is a Thursday, the 15th is a Thursday. Do we do the 1st, the 2nd?
You want to do the first?
Do we do the 1st or do we do the 2nd? Thursday, I can't remember.
We do the first. We're supposed to do the first.
Then
Okay.
do the August 1st.
August 1st is good with me. Everybody?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, gonna make a motion to.
So moved.
Rob's
Well, you
making.
gotta make the motion I make the motion to call the meeting to an end
What time is it?
Second.
at 10:12. And you can go hit the button to